Yo, what's good, boys? Welcome to my third JDM video. Now, even though you JDM fans left hundreds of comments trying to convince me that he's gonna win, I'm honestly still not buying it, and let me explain. Now, first of all, let's be honest, this is a fight between two of some of the best fighters in the world. Like, for real, anything can happen. There is no guaranteed outcome here.
I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know how it's gonna go. It could go either way.
What I want to do in this video is talk about what I think the most likely outcomes are, and why exactly I'm leaning towards Islam. So please keep in mind, these aren't two gorillas we're just throwing in a cage and expecting them to swing at each other. These are tacticians, guys who come in with game plans, and a lot of their success comes from how well they execute those plans. And keeping that in mind, that brings us to our first point, which is the most common argument I hear for why JDM is supposedly going to beat Islam. Apparently, since he had such a hard time submitting old man Poirier, that means that there's no way he's going to submit JDM. And I'm here to tell you I'm sorry it doesn't work that way. Cause like I said, everything is directly related to their game plan. The reason Islam had Poirier's back and couldn't submit him is because Dustin wasn't even trying to escape. His whole game plan was to fight the hands and stay safe, and trust me, you'd be surprised at how hard it is to submit someone who's just fully committed to defending the choke and not giving you anything. And Dustin had a pretty good plan. His plan was to survive the takedowns, let the round end, and then piece him up in the next round. He was probably hoping that that would lead to either a decision win or eventually a knockout. You see, Dustin had the right game plan, but what he didn't take into account was that Islam is really fucking good on the feet. For the first 3 rounds straight, Islam was winning the fight without a question, even though Dustin managed to keep a very good portion of the fight standing. But closer to the end of the 3rd round, I'm pretty sure he realized that he's down. And at that point, the whole game plan goes out the window. Because that's when he started scrambling exactly like JDM does.
Same, but different, but still same.
His first real scramble came in the 3rd round, and he actually pulled a move really similar to the one JDM used before knocking out Burns. Then finally, he scrambled again in the 5th round, and that's where he got submitted. So technically, Islam caught him on his 2nd scramble. So now ask yourself this. What do you think JDM's game plan is going to be? Because I'm willing to bet everything that he's going to scramble every single time. Like, I really doubt that JDM is going to adopt the same game plan as Poirier. He's most likely going to keep doing exactly what he's been doing, and I think that's going to be his downfall. And if you don't believe my Dustin Poirier theory, then answer this. How come Islam was able to submit Moicano so much easier than Poirier, when Moicano has a much higher level of grappling than him? It's because Moicano scrambled when he wasn't supposed to, and it was a wrap from there. So now that I've explained that whole grappling misunderstanding, can someone please explain to me how he was able to hang with Poirier on the feet? Like, Poirier is an elite striker, and Islam was low-key piecing him up. And that's the same Dustin Poirier that went on to have a competitive fight with one of the most elite strikers the UFC has ever seen. So that goes to show you that he's not as washed as people try to make it seem. He did better against Holloway than Gaethje did. So yeah, in my opinion, it's really impressive that Islam was even able to hang with him on the feet. And I already know what some of you are going to say, that his striking only looks good because of his takedown threat. And yeah, that's actually true. It definitely does play a huge factor, but at the same time, I don't think it really matters technically, because the same thing is going to apply to JDM too and everyone else that Islam faces. And before I get into the second case that JDM Glazers are making for him, make sure you hit that sub button, because you never know when I'm going to drop another banger. And let me know in the comments who you think is going to win and why. So the second point I keep hearing about why he's going to beat Islam is because he's too big for him. And I'm here to tell you that I checked the numbers, and I want to ask you,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
So it turns out that JDM is literally 1 inch taller than him and has 2.5 inches of reach on him, which really isn't anything crazy. Nothing to write home about, basically. And Dustin Poirier had 1.5 inches of reach on Islam too, and that shit did not matter in the fight the way you thought it would. And to add on that, Islam was one of the strongest lightweights out there. Like, once he got a hold of that choke, it was basically wraps. Everyone who's been submitted by him talks about how strong he is. And if you've watched his interviews, you'll know that he's almost up to like 190 pounds now, which is low-key a very normal weight for that division. So yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that Islam's going to be stronger when it comes to the grappling. Because if I'm being honest, JDM's not really the biggest welterweight when it comes to size. And I also think Islam's going to do much better on the feet than people expect. So for those reasons, I'm 100% picking Islam to win. And that's nothing against JDM, he's a really good fighter. And I definitely think that after he loses on November 15th, he's still going to bounce back and do big things. But he's low-key going to have to leave that belt behind. Oh, and if you're like me and you're always looking for MMA stuff to watch, check these guys out, because they be dropping some really good content. Anyways, thank you again for watching. Take care. Until next time, and oh, don't forget.
It don't cost nothing to show a nigga love.
I was doing this game, money.
Show a nigga some love, nigga.
Wabbly dabbly.
Niggas out here don't love me, nigga.